afternoon to everyone. Can you see the PPT, everyone? Can you see the slide? Management lessons from Veda.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we are studying the subject Indian ethos in management, unit number 1. We are on the last part of unit number 1, where we have to study what are the management lessons which we have received from our ancient scriptures. All of you know that India is a country which has a vast treasure of knowledge. We have so many different religions being followed in our country, so many different languages being spoken in our country, so many different cultures which are being practiced in our country. All of them are living harmoniously with each other. And the scriptures which have been handed over to us by our ancestors, they are a treasure of knowledge. So let us pick up some of the treasures and try to find out what are the management lessons from them. So the first treasure which we are picking is the Vedas. All of you know that there are 4 major Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda and Atharvaveda. We are not going to learn them in detail, but we are just trying to find out how they can be applied in the corporate world. So let us see the management lessons from the Vedas. The Vedas teach us about value of moral. Moral yani what is good, what is bad, right? The Vedas create values by reducing chaos in the society, thinking about benefits of entire society, not me, myself, but everyone, we all together. Creating values by reading inspiring books that change the way of thinking. A very important concept is the law of karma, which has been explained in the Vedas, which we are going to learn in detail in the 4th unit. Then creating a healthy society. Our Vedas promote a healthy society and inheriting a principled life. Our Vedas teach us to believe in divinity of all souls, since we have all originated from a supreme power or supreme intelligence or God or Allah or Bhagwan or whatever name you call. So since all of us have originated from that one supreme power, that is why all of us, whether it is a human being, whether it is an animal, whether it is a plant or anything, we all have the qualities of that supreme power. And that is why each and every soul is divine. It is divinity of all souls. Further, our Vedas also say Aham Brahmasmi. That means I am Brahma. Brahma means, here it means God. Right? So we should not get that superior complex that मैं भगवान हूँ, मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. Here what does it mean? That since I am a child of God, I have all the qualities of the God. So honesty, peace, these are some of the qualities, happiness. These are the qualities of the supreme power. So they are there in me. Now when this concept registers in your mind, it applies to everyone around you. So the way you look at others slowly changes. Your attitude towards others changes. So others are not your competitors now. They are just like you. Right? So your attitude towards them changes. This makes a very big difference on the working culture in your organization. The Vedas also teach you why to work. तुम क्यों काम कर रहे हो? How to work, काम किस तरह से करना चाहिए. योग कर्मसु कौशलम. This is a very important concept. काम इस तरह से करो कि आप उस फील्ड में एक्सपर्ट हो जाओ. योग माने क्या? जो कर्म आप कर रहे हो उसमें आप कौशल्य यानी एक्सपर्टाइज दिखाओ. You do the work, whatever. If I am teaching, I should teach in the best way I can. I should put in all my energies into this teaching. If I am cooking, I should put all my energies into cooking. So that is called as yoga. Then parasparam bhavayantaha. That means nurturing each other. In the Indian culture, we don't believe in competition, cutthroat competition. This is a Western word, right? We believe in helping each other, collaboration, team spirit, एक दूसरे को मदद करना, help करना. That is parasparam bhavayantaha, nurture each other. We believe in team spirit. We believe in Dvaita means two. Advaita means only one. Dvaita means I can exist and somebody else also can exist along with me. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि मैं जो बोलता हूँ वही सही है, जो दूसरा सामने वाला है वो जो बोल रहा है अगर वो ऑपोजिट भी है तो वो भी सही हो सकता है. So it teaches us, Vedas teach us to face this Dvaita all around us. So जैसे दिन है तो रात आनी है ना, खुशी है तो गम आना ही है, like that Dvaita, everything is together. And the last is Nishkama Karma. How to perform your duties? Every scripture of ours, whether it is the Vedas or any other religion का scripture आप ले लो ना, तो कर्म या काम के ऊपर बहुत emphasis है. तो निष्काम कर्म, या स्पेशली भगवत गीता में मेंशन किया हुआ है कि किस तरह से कर्म करना चाहिए. कृष्ण भगवान एक्सप्लेन्स टू अर्जुन, you do your work in the best manner and do not keep any expectations कि मैंने ये काम किया तो उसके बदले मुझे ये मिलेगा. जैसे when I am teaching, I should teach in the best manner, but then if no student appreciates or nobody stands up when I go to class or nobody wishes me on the road when they meet me, then I should not feel bad. Expectation should not be there. That is called as nishkama karma. अपना कर्म करते जाओ without any expectation. This is little difficult. बोलना बहुत easy है, but है बहुत difficult बात है. Then we come to the second scripture, that is Mahabharata. All of you know the story of Mahabharata, where you had a war between two different parties, Kauravas and the Pandavas. Both of them were cousins, but there was a war for Satya, yani for truth, right? So, and you must also be knowing some of the characters like Duryodhan, then Yudhishthir, Arjun, Krishna, all of them, then Bhishma Pitamaha. Then you had Dushasan, you had Draupadi. You all must be familiar with these characters. Now, looking at these characters of Mahabharata, there are certain lessons which we must learn, which can be applied in the corporate world. First one, you should turn your weaknesses into strengths. आपका जो भी weakness है उसको weakness मत समझो, उसके ऊपर improve करो, उसको change करके उसको strength बनाओ आपका. Turn your enemies into allies. If you will look at the armies, कौरव और पांडव दोनों की जो armies थी, कौरव की army बहुत बड़ी थी, but Pandavas what they did was they formed allies with many people. यानी दूसरों kingdom के king के साथ जाके मिल के they वो संधि बोलते, they signed a treaty and they came together. Share your responsibilities. If you look at the Pandavas, every one of them was not expert in everything. जैसे भीम था, उसको गदा चलाना बहुत अच्छा आता था. Arjun was very good in archery. Yudhishthir was a very good administrator. They had all different qualities, and they shared the responsibilities of looking after their army. Teamwork scores over individual effort. है ना, टीम वर्क है जो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो पांडव तो सिर्फ 5 थे, कौरव तो 100 थे, फिर भी पांडव ही जीत गए क्योंकि टीम वर्क वाज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. दे ट्रस्टेड ईच अदर, they had faith in each other, and there was a very good leader for them. Krishna थे उनके साथ. Then right team is equal to right set of individuals, right man for the right job. This we all know very well as HR students. All of you are very familiar with this line, right man for the right job. अगर right man for the right job नहीं है तो आपका business कभी भी successful नहीं होगा. Commitment scores over competence. Competence तो होना ही चाहिए, right? You should have skills, you should have knowledge, everything, but commitment is more important. Commitment नहीं है आपके पास, आप बहुत talented हो but commitment नहीं है, then you cannot succeed. Team interest over individual interest, right? Individual interest is subordinate. Individual interest बाद में आता है, team का interest सबसे पहले आता है. If both are clashing, you should give priority to team interest. Know your enemy or your challenges, exploit their weaknesses. When you are a businessman, you should know who are your competitors, what is their weakness, and you should also be able to take calculated risks. Who is the right manager? A person who can inspire, invigorate, counsel in crisis. Here the example in Mahabharata is of Krishna. Krishna used to all the time motivate Arjun as well as the Pandavas. know the ground realities. You don't have to, fly in your dream world. हाँ, सपने में उड़ना नहीं चाहिए. You should accept what is the fact, and accordingly you should adapt yourself. Empower women. The gender balance is required for stability and administration. If you look at our ancient culture, women were given very powerful positions. आप अगर stories पहले के history में पढ़ोगे ना, तो इन बिटवीन वुमन को बहुत ही मतलब नो एजुकेशन, घर से बाहर नहीं आना है, नो करियर, ऐसा था. बट उससे पहले का जो पीरियड है उसमें वुमन वर गिवन लॉट्स ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंस. एग्जाम्पल आई कुड गिव यू वाज रानी झांसी की रानी. एंड इफ यू लुक एट अवर रिलीजन, तो बहुत सारे फेस्टिवल ऐसे हैं जहाँ पे फीमेल डीटी इज वर्शिप. जैसे नवरात्रि है, 9 देवीज, 9 डिफरेंट देवियों की वर्शिप होती है. महालक्ष्मी, दैट इज ऑल्सो फीमेल deity. So women are given lots of importance. So these are some of the management lessons. So you should give importance to women in your organization also. Next scripture is our Bible. Bible is a religious book of Christians, and it also has several management principles. उसमें कौन से है important वाले? Be humble. Okay, as a HR manager or as a top management, you should be humble. You should not let power enter your head, and you should not feel superior. You should be humble. You should build reputation for honesty. You should be very honest. You should treat your employee fairly. Charity is one component which I have seen in almost all religions. कोई भी religion का आप देखोगे ना, तो charity तो है ही. तो यहाँ पे भी charity is also important. Then sowing and reaping. जैसा आप बोओगे वैसा आपको मिलेगा. As you sow, so shall you reap. You must have heard this statement very often. So whatever you do, same thing you will get back in return. Conflict management, this is also explained in Bible very well. Importance of working hard, highest level of customer service, honesty with customers, and acting as if you are being watched. यहाँ पे मुझे एक एग्जाम्पल हमेशा याद आता है. व्हेन आई वाज स्टडीइंग इन अ कॉन्वेंट स्कूल, जब मैं छोटी थी, तो वहाँ चर्च के थ्रू हमारा एंट्री होता था क्लासेस में. तो इन द मॉर्निंग व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू गो, फर्स्ट वी यूज्ड टू गो टू चर्च, बिकॉज चर्च से एंट्री होता था. एंड देयर वाज अ बिग पोर्ट्रेट ऑफ जीसस क्राइस्ट का बड़ा पिक्चर था. So if I used to walk from the right side to the left, I used to feel as if Jesus Christ is watching me. And if I used to walk from left to right, तो भी मुझे ऐसा फीलिंग आता था, as if you are being continuously watched. ऐसे इस तरह से बनाया गया था पोर्ट्रेट, पता नहीं whatever, or I was imagining, मुझे नहीं मालूम. But we do believe that we are being watched by that supreme power. So when that feeling is there, we stop from making any unnecessary mistakes or any sins or crimes. The next scripture is our Holy Quran, which is a holy book of our Islam religion. Okay, what does Quran mean? It means recitation. You are reciting something. It is a central religious text of Islam and is the finest piece of literature in Arabic language. The language used is Arabic. Our Vedas, they are written in Sanskrit. Bhagavad Gita also written in Sanskrit, whereas Holy Quran is written in Arabic. ये MCQ में आ सकता है ऐसा, इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ आपको. Now what does the Quran say? What management principles can you find in Quran? So in the Holy Quran, it has laid down the institutional framework for putting this golden rule into practice. ये कौन से golden rule है? First is obedience and respect for authority. You should respect elders. You should respect everyone around you. That is what is explained in the Holy Quran. And joint consultation and motivation. You should not take arbitrary decisions. You should consult everyone before taking any decisions. Equal opportunities to everyone, motivation, commitment. All of you are very familiar with these words. Then the next is optimum capacity utilization. कोई भी चीज़ आप यूज़ कर रहे हो, whatever resources you are using, you should not waste and use it to the best capacity. That is one of the highlights of Quran. आपको कुछ भी wastage नहीं करना है, हर एक चीज़ को अच्छे से इस्तेमाल करना है. It could be resources like your HR, it could be finance, it could be your time, it could be your energy. Everything you should use in the optimum capacity. just in time and Kaizen, these two are important from, especially from exam point of view से पूछा जाता है. You know, from which scripture these are asked. So ये Quran आपको, that is the answer. Or in Quran dash is an important management lesson. So just in time और कुछ दिया जाएगा. So what is this just in time? This is actually a concept which you must have learnt in PTQM, दोनों Kaizen और ये. This is a concept which was pioneered by Toyota, but actually it is from the Quran. Okay. तो इसके अंदर क्या है, जितना इन्वेंट्री का आपको ज़रूरत है उतना ही रखो, जितने चीज की जरूरत है उतना ही रखो, और कुछ चाहिए तो उसको मंगवा लो. इसको बोलते हैं जस्ट इन टाइम. तो इससे क्या होता है, आपका अननेसेसरी रिसोर्सेज ब्लॉक नहीं होता है एंड वेस्टेजेस भी कम होता है. एंड नेक्स्ट कंसेप्ट इज काइजान. नाउ काइजान इज अ जापानीज वर्ड. ओके, सो दिस मीन्स कंटिन्यूअस इम्प्रूवमेंट. योर प्रोडक्ट शुड बी so good that the percentage of error should be very less. This is actually हमने जो पढ़ा है, it is a Japanese word, but actually Arabic में इसको jihad बोलते हैं. You have heard this jihad, but maybe in the negative way. But jihad means nothing but continuous attempt to improve yourself. You keep on improving yourself. उसको jihad बोलते हैं. तो that is mentioned in the Quran. Of course, it is used out of context and in a wrong way by many people without understanding the meaning of that. And the last concept is the customer satisfaction. ये तो आपको पता ही है अच्छे से what is customer satisfaction. The last scripture which has been mentioned in your syllabus is Arthashastra. Now Arthashastra is written by Kautilya, and Kautilya maybe you are not familiar, but all of you are familiar with Chanakya. Okay, Chanakya and Kautilya both are the same names of the same person. So Arthashastra explains in detail the principle of righteousness in management and politics, and stated that it is the essence of kingship. Then how to rule a kingdom, that is explained in Arthashastra. If you have read history, Chanakya was the prime minister, the minister for Chandragupta Maurya, and he used to advise how the kingdom should run, and the king used to follow whatever Chanakya said. And Chanakya is said to be the world's first management guru, and he was a very sharp strategist. वो इतने अच्छे strategies बनाते थे that the very huge kingdoms had to lay down their arms before him. Now what management lessons do we learn from Arthashastra? यहाँ पे all business management principles. Artha means economics. Shastra is a stream of economics. यानी हमारा जो field of economics है उसके बारे में बहुत सारी जानकारी यहाँ पे मिलेगी ये बुक में. ये अर्थशास्त्र जो ये स्क्रिप्चर है इसके अंदर. So all business management principles, how profit should be earned and how it should be distributed, how your records, financial records should be examined and audited, how to avoid misuse of power, and how to conduct your business ethically. So this is mentioned in our Arthashastra. Now the last two slides are from the Bhagavad Gita. This is not mentioned in your syllabus, but since it is almost related, I picked it up. You have a little idea about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was recited by Shri Krishna in the war which took place in Kurukshetra between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. जिसको महाभारत बोलते हैं. So just before the war was about to begin, Arjun, whose charioteer was Shri Krishna, he told Krishna was his friend also. So he said to Krishna that I cannot fight. He lost his all confidence, and he said, I will not fight because in front of me I have my own guru, my grandfather, my cousins, my uncle. I cannot fight against them. And just kept his bow and arrow down and sat down. So in that moment, Bhagavad Gita was recited by Shri Krishna. And in this recital, this is a very beautiful recitation comprised of 700 shlokas, 18 chapters, 700 shlokas. तो उसमें से जो lessons आए हैं that they are applicable even now, that has been recited 5,000 years back, but the same principles can be applied even now. So let us see some of the principles. First lesson of management is to choose wisely and utilize scarce resources optimally. There's a beautiful story to elaborate this. that before the war started, everybody wanted Krishna on their side. Kauravs को भी चाहिए थे और पांडव को भी चाहिए थे. So there was one catch कि Krishna said that Krishna की जो army थी, तो either you take the army or you take me, but if you're taking me, I will not fight. That is what Krishna had said. And Duryodhan was very manipulative and he took the army. He said army मिल गया तो फिर कृष्णा का क्या जरूरत है. And Yudhishthir took Krishna because he wanted the guidance of Krishna. तो scarce resources जो है उसको किस तरह से choose करना है and उसको किस तरह से use करना है, ये हमको management lesson यहाँ से मिलता है. At the end, all of you know that the Pandavas won the war because of Krishna. During the curtain raiser before Mahabharata war, Duryodhan chose Sri Krishna's large army for his help, while Arjun selected Sri Krishna's wisdom. It gives us a clue about the nature of effective manager. The former choose numbers, the later wisdom. यानी अच्छा जो manager है वो choose करता है wisdom. Critical question in all managers' mind is how to do a job effectively, which is explained very well in the Bhagavad Gita. काम कैसे करना है आपको, आपकी life कैसे जीना, everything is explained very well in the Bhagavad Gita, where you first learn to manage your own self. Focus is on improving your own self inside you, internal, whereas Western approach is more of external. भगवद गीता अप्रोच टू मैनेजमेंट फोकसेस ऑन एक्सप्लोरिंग इनर वर्ल्ड. खुद को पहले इम्प्रूव करो, फिर आपके आसपास जो लोग हैं उनको इम्प्रूव करो. मैनेजर्स कैन अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम द गीता द OB, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर, इन टर्म्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज, इंडिविजुअल बिहेवियर, ग्रुप परफॉर्मेंस एंड इट्स एनवायरनमेंट. भगवद गीता के बारे में तो बहुत चीज़ें मैं आपको बता सकती हूँ, बट वी विल जस्ट स्टॉप ओवर हियर. आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू हैव अंडरस्टूड and you find these concepts very interesting, but you should explore this a little more because इसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. Okay.